Okay, so this is, I think, our third Widget Wednesday. It is May 13th, and I'm really excited to, one, see you all again, and then two, to share you something that I have found really useful in the course of my business life. So I'm going to start off with a little demo. Let me share my screen. Share. All right, do you all see this form in the blue background?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm sharing properly. So this is a form that I created just this morning. I had a thought. So if I were to send you this form, and it's linked on my website or an email, and it's basically asking a series of lead-in questions. Do you currently use a scheduling system? And if you click yes, it says, great, scheduling systems save you time. And I asked you, what scheduling system do you use? Oops, actually my preview, no, not preview, hang on. I want to get in preview. Well, what did I just do? Okay, I think I just moved this. Let me move this back. I thought I was in preview mode, but I was not. So let me get to preview mode. So again, I'm in an editor, and I just created this form, and I wanted to walk you through it and then explain to you how I use this to save me time. As it gets into preview, did we just get somebody new? Oh, there we go. Okay, now I'm in preview. So if you were to receive this form in an email or on a link on my website, it asks you a series of lead-in questions. So the first question is, do you use a scheduling system? And if you say yes, it'll say, okay, great job. What scheduling system do you use? But if you check on any of these other tabs, it's going to say, well, good news. If you implement a scheduling system, it will let you select some options in your calendar, which saves you time. So basically, I'm walking through a series of educational questions based on their answer. And think about this for your business. Do you spend a lot of time explaining things to people? Accepting payments. I use an invoicing system. I send an invoice requesting payment by check or by Venmo. I spend more time than I'd like. I think I'd like tracking down payments. And if you, again, click any of the other options, it's going to say a payment system will save you time, make you more money. If they click this, it says, great job, payment system save you money, and they fill in an answer. So you see this is very responsive based on an answer, which I have pre-scripted. And then the other question is, it flexible enough to include all the options? Last question on product and service. Again, a good chunk of marketing is education. Do you feel like you're spending too much time saying the same thing over and over again to multiple prospects? What you say and how you say it could be more effective. And again, if they click on any of these things, it gives them a little educational piece. And that can be as long or as short as you want. And this is a demo of something that I use a lot in my own business in terms of, instead of me asking these questions, now I could do all this in a video, right? This is why you're here, to kind of learn this. But if you weren't convinced you wanted to spend time watching a video, I'm hitting their pain points. And as you recall in the magic formula, it's what's the message, who's your audience, how do you grab their attention, how do you involve the emotion, and what's the call to action. So I'm using these questions really to hit their pain points. Are contacts falling through the cracks? Are you spending time, chasing money? Are you spending more time talking to people than you could be making money? And is that a good return on your investment? And then at the end, I said, if you would like to see a video demo of a way to save you time, make you more money, and make your life easier, enter your name and email. Now, I took some time developing this form, but once this form is done, I don't have to look any longer if, let's say, Kay calls me and said, hey, I'm interested in what you're talking about. Can you tell me about it? And I said, I'm going to send you this form. I'm going to have you fill out this form, and Kay is going to self-educate herself on where her pain points might be. And then I can send her, so then if she fills out this form, an autoresponder will then send her a link to a video. Then by the time Kay calls me, she's already halfway sold to whatever product and service I'm offering. So let me take you to the back engine of this, because I didn't have time to implement all of it, but I wanted to show you some of the things that make this form work. So what I did is, once I created the script, I have these conditional options. So I say, if their answer is A, then show them this part. If it's B, C, or D, show them this part. And this is what controls what the form does when they look at it. The other thing I can implement it is, what I'm going to do is, based on their answers, I can also send them an email. So if their email is they're perfect, they don't have to spend their time with me, and I don't have to spend their time with them, because I don't have the solution that will solve their non-problem. What this will do is say, hey, good to hear you're doing well. If you have any other questions or needs about technology, let me know, and we're done. If their answer is some of those pain points, then I'm going to say, I have a great cost-effective solution. Please watch this video. Once you're done watching this video, click here to schedule a call with me. And again, if you think about it, this can happen to one person, this can happen to 20 people, and Susan didn't have to spend any more time than it took me to create this one form. So if you think about those things for you, if you are spending a lot of time chasing phone appointments or even physical appointments, when we get back to that, if you're spending a lot of time chasing money or answering a lot of questions, think about how a form like this might help you. I'm going to do a couple of other demos. Actually, we're going to go to, I use this form a lot for some clients as well. My internet's really slow. So Cordova Council. Cordova Council has been a long-time client, and they have a staff of 4 now. I think they started with 1 when I started working with them. And they've been using technology a lot for a lot of their systems. And I'm going to show you the most complex form I have ever created. And it seems to get more complex over time. So they've canceled their events. Going to close that out. I think it is be a sponsor. So they have a be event sponsor, and it's actually a pretty long PDF form because they have a lot of options. Do you want to be a sponsor for indoor events, outdoor events? Which one do you like? How much do you want to spend? All those kinds of things. So we took that long form and created a form online. This is also a Jotform. It's using the same kind of logic technology that I just demoed you on a much larger scale. So here it says, here are the events we have during the course of a year. Are you interested in category 1 events or category 2? Depending on what they click, come on, click. Here we go. It gives them their options. So do you want to spend this much, that much, or whatever? So let's just say $2,500. Then it gives them their options. It outlines what they get. You get your logo on the flyers, you get a booth, you get this. And again, depending on whichever they check, it tells them all the features of that. Title sponsor, and the same thing for category 2. So as these check that, then they get to check which events they want. Again, based on their selection, it says, okay, you want a category 1, which of the events do you want to sponsor? And again, they can check what they want. And if they want the 4th of July, what are their options here? Let's not do 4th of July, that's the most complex. And at the end, it asks for the contact information. It asks them if they will be paying by check or by credit card. And then we have this CAPTCHA so that we know we're not getting spammed. Once they select it, if they're paying by check, it's going to email them with the total that their total amount is, $10,000. Send a check to such and such an address by this date. If they say they want to pay by credit card, once I check the right amounts, it'll tell them what that amount is in the credit card information. And it sends them an email that says, thank you for your payment. We will contact you 2 weeks before the event to get all settled. So you can see how this particular form is the same thing as the PDF somebody would see, but it's much more interactive, gives them more options, and eliminates the need for somebody at the Cordova Council for, one, taking their credit card information, sending them an invoice, doing all that. So again, the time for all the events they have, the time they save times the number of events is well worth the investment of creating a form like this. So that's one example. Let's see, I'm going to show you one other form. Actually, I showed this to the mastermind group. So I'm going to go into my Jotform account, and I'm going to go back to here. I think some of you have seen this, but for those of you not, I was really excited about this one because, again, a lot of you might have payment systems that, you know, like for event registration. What day are you coming? The ticket price is $15, and it's not really complex. It's just taking $15. But when you have a lot of options, sometimes a lot of registration systems aren't very flexible. But that's where Jotform gets to be really interesting. So for example, I had this social media option, and I'm going to go into the editor. And I'm going to go into preview mode. So some of you are looking at Promo Republic as a way to market your business online. I have a company that I can work with, and they can give you any variety of options as far as Instagram and or Pinterest and or Facebook. And based on the system that I've got with them, if the more you order, the more discount I can offer. So again, it gets a little bit more complex because how many do you order? Which ones do you want? What's the discount you get? So with this, I kind of explain to you what the discounts are. So if you select, you have to select two to start. So let's say I select this and this. It says, okay, the cost is 14, but as I add a third one, you'll see that there's a discount. So it would be 7 times 3, but the discount is applied. So this form has a calculator that says you can create logic that says based on certain criteria, do a calculation. Show them the calculation, and then again, show them their options as far as payment. Now, one of the things this did not do, and I actually have to contact them to see if there is a way, if I were to just accept a flat payment, I could have had a form that came up similar to the Cordova Council where it would just accept payment and we'd be done. But because this is a recurring payment, I didn't see that as a seamless way. So again, I just, here's your total. Pick which one you want. You can pay monthly or quarterly. And again, we're done. So the system has set up an automatic payment. So again, Susan doesn't have to go chasing invoices every month because I'm not good at it. And money falls between the cracks. And I'm spending a lot more time doing that. So again, Jotform has been a really effective way for me to save time and make money. Now, I'm going to open this up for Q&A in just a sec. Again, you'll see it's mobile friendly, so people can do this on their phone, which is really nice. Some things that I really haven't spent much time implementing, which might be nice for some of you who like visuals, is actually they do have template colors. You can do backgrounds. It's all kind of built in, so that's nice for visuals. I don't spend a lot of time doing that because I just want it to function well. The other thing that you might notice, this is something new and I'm kind of excited about. This is why I was excited to show this. They just implemented a new widget. So if I want to create a form, I'm just going to demo how you can use a template. So if you don't want to start from scratch and you want some ideas, I can choose a template. So you'll see over here they have booking forms and request forms and feedback forms and evaluation forms. So you can select one. Let's do a booking form. And they've got ones for hotels and B&Bs and booking a room. It's just taking a little bit of time to show up. There we go. So they will give you a lot. I mean, look how many. They've got 186 sign-up templates to choose from. And once you create one, you can it'll be in your library. So you'll see they have different kinds of booking forms using different widgets. Concert ticket registration. I mean, all kinds of things to select from. My mouse is frozen. I think it, and I don't have an Apple. All right, waiting for it. I think it's loading 186 forms or something. That maybe not have been a good choice. Okay. Well, so what I just want.
Hey, Susan.
Yes.
This is Janelle. I just wanted to let you know I'm on, but I'm driving, so I'm listening in. So
All right, and I'm recording this, so you're good. You'll see the visual.
Oh, good. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, so again, you have lots of templates you can start from scratch, but I just wanted to show you if I wanted to start from scratch, I'm just going to use Classic. The card form is something relatively new too. It doesn't, it's like an index card. It's like a question on an index card, which some people like. But they just added this new widget. Let's see if I could find it. I mean, they've got, oh, here it is, appointment. This is pretty awesome. So they now have a widget that will open up a calendar. And when you go to the settings, you can select what days of the week you want it to work on, what the booking amounts are, the times. This is brand new. They just announced this last week. Now, I use a scheduling system that syncs with my Google Calendar, which I like because my Google Calendar knows when I'm available. So nobody will book on that time. But if you're just starting out, this is a nice option because you can say, I only want to book on certain days of the week during certain times. And I ask people to book more than one option. That way I can choose. But again, if you don't have a booking or scheduling software, this is a good alternative built into a Jotform now. And again, you have all that flexibility about autoresponders and that kind of thing. So let me talk about pricing because I know that's always a concern. Let me go here. Let me close this out. Good news is there is a free option. Just like anything, free options are a little bit limited, but free, if that's all you need, is not bad. And again, full disclosure, I do not have an affiliate program with Jotform. I do not get paid if any of you guys sign up. It's just something that I really find is a good time saver, and not many people are using something like this. So the free option lets you get 100 submissions per month. You can do up to 5 forms. Well, where do I see that? Let's just say 5 forms. Maybe they changed it. Let me see. I'm not seeing 5 forms, so maybe they changed that. So 100 submissions. That means that if 100 people submit something onto one of your forms, that's your limit, and the system will shut down after that. The one big limitation is payments. So you can only take 10 payments. So if you send out 10 invoices or something like that, this will probably work. However, if you are accepting payments like for an event, 10 will probably not be enough for most of our events. So that means you might need to kick that up into the bronze level. The other option, if you want to get around that, is remember I said you can do an autoresponder. So if you collect all their information and, say what dates and all that stuff, then you can send them an email with a link to a payment system. So if you don't want to use Jotform's payment system, which limits you to 10, you just take the registrations and send them a link that says, here's where you pay. So that's just another option. For Renee and some of our service providers, there is a HIPAA compliance. There is a cost to that. And Renee, I think, have you had a chance to look at what that is or if that's worth that or not?
I went into a program called My Client Plus that tells me they're working on a HIPAA compliant because it's set up specifically for providers and practitioners. And so they tell me they're opening up a meeting space that will be HIPAA compliant. So I'm kind of waiting to see what they actually come about with before I move forward. But yeah, $200 a month is a little rich.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this is 32, but it's not going to give you everything. So again, most of us don't need to worry about HIPAA, but for the healthcare providers and that kind of thing, it's something to think about what information you're gathering using the Jotform.
Yeah, and then Helen Justice and we looked at an environment too that we might share. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll look at that. We have a demo on that on Friday.
Okay, yeah. And so there's a yearly discount, and again, the monthly is this. But again, if it's a one-off thing, let's say you are using this for just intake forms and things like that. If you are having an event and you want to use it, maybe you just use it for a month or two. And then you can downgrade back to the starter level once the event is done. So again, that's so that you can accept 100 payments or 1,000 submissions. All right, that is really all I wanted to show you in terms of how a Jotform can, one, be a scheduler for you. I talked about this kind of being your virtual assistant. Is one, it can be a scheduler for you if you use that new program. It integrates with Zoom, by the way. It can save you time from invoicing, follow up on payments, as well as be very complex in terms of the conditions and the criteria you use to calculate an amount. Plus, you can use it as an education piece. And I wanted to show you one more demo. I think this is kind of a comparison. If you remember those questions that I asked you, another tool that I use, and I'm going to take you to, actually, let's take you to Beck. Hopefully this is going to be fast. We actually took that script that I used in Jotform and automated it. So on Kathleen's mortgage website, in a couple of seconds, a virtual assistant pops up. Eventually, there we go. Actually, Carrie is a real person. She is her office manager. And Carrie starts asking those questions that we had in Jotform in Kathleen's industry. So Kathleen isn't available right now. I'm here to help. Are you looking to refinance, purchase a home, or do you have a question? So if I say purchase or any variation of that, her response is going to be based on whatever I typed in. So she says, congratulations, Kathleen has over 25 years experience. So basically what this does is it basically automates the Jotform. There is a cost to this. It's $20 a month, but I'm not charging the setup fee for that. So again, it's just a way to automate it. And I sent her a report about a month ago. Her conversion rate is over 10% right now, which is huge. That means 1 out of 10 people that go to her website take some action, whether it's pick up the phone, fill out a form, that kind of thing. So it plugs up the holes on your website, so you're capturing more business because people are interacting. And for those of us who have been on the Instagram calls, we know that part of capturing people's attention is interacting with them. So asking them the questions, hitting their pain points is part of how we stand out from our competition, get them engaged, and create a potential call or contact. Okay, so that's it for the demo. I'm opening it up for Q&A and comments. Y'all look shell-shocked. I know, it's a lot. It's a lot.
I have a question, Ms. Lorianne. So on the thing right there where, on this mortgage site where there was a chat thing, is that on the free side of Jot or is that the monthly payment side of Jot?
Actually, that is a separate program from Jotform.
Oh, okay.
So Jotform, so if we didn't have that chat agent, what we would do is just have a form. Click here to fill, I call it like a checklist. You know, people like checklists. I want to say, okay, let's use some of you as an example. So for example, with Kay, your health checklist might say, are you getting enough sleep? Do you feel anxious all the time? Do you, and asking those questions, and then say, oh, if you feel anxious, there are oils that will help you. Here are some recommendations. And you see how that's kind of answering their question based on what they've already identified as their problem. Sometimes they might not know they have a problem, and that's part of that chat, that Jotform survey as well. So you can make it a form that's interactive, or a chat bot that's interactive. But what I find is the conversion is a lot higher, plus it saves you time. Now you can do the same thing, like for example, Kathleen has this contact form, just like most of us have. But we're finding that bot conversion, I think she gets about 3 leads a month just on that. And I can't say what it would be like without it. But when I show her stats out of 1 out of 10 is converting, that's a pretty high compelling reason in her industry especially. So it really depends on, remember we talked about the value of a lifetime client. So obviously in the mortgage business, if she gets 1 new client a month from that chat bot, that $20 is nothing. So again, you have to think about, one, do you want to invest in a chat bot? Do you want to invest time in a Jotform? Again, the Jotform is free up to a certain point, but looking at the ROI, saving you time for one, and then making you money.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Karen, did you have a question? I don't see your hand.
Well, I'm sorry. Yeah. Go ahead, Kay.
No.
You can go first.
Oh, I just wondered, can you put the Jotform on your website?
Yeah,
Is
absolutely.
that what you do? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I had to use the restroom.
you can embed it. You can embed it, like this is a form that's embedded. You can embed a Jotform inside a page, but I find that, especially when it's interactive like that, you see how it kind of shrinks and grows based on their answer. It takes a varying amount of space, and sometimes embedding it on a website is a little disconcerting. So for those kinds of things, you can just have a button, like a click here for the checklist, and then it'll open it up in a separate window.
Oh,
so you can
okay.
do either
That
way,
sounds
but
good.
again, if
Yeah.
it's a short form like this, you can just embed it. If it's one that's a little longer and interactive, you're better off with a click to open the form.
Okay, got it.
And you could also send that in an email. So think about this. When you meet a new contact, one of the things you can email them is that, hey, great to meet you. Would you like to take my health checklist? Click here. And again, that's educating them interactively, gives them an option to follow up. And again, in that autoresponder that you have in Jotform, it might send them a video. Now, watching a video, like if I were to record any or all a part of what I'm doing this morning, that could be an educational video. But sometimes having them answer their own questions is a little bit more effective, right? They go, oh yeah, I am spending time. You know, I am spending a lot of time explaining the same thing over and over. And having a chat bot or a Jotform to help you save you time is just worth that investment of getting it done. Let's see, Karen, did you have a question?
Yeah, actually, what I'm getting from this in my profession is that I would like it for like feedback on product, or because I always feel that personal contact is way better. I mean, I understand how this is so effective in saving time, but I think like evaluation form, it would work for me. And the pain point questions, I think so too. But what I'm finding out is when I have a prospect, I've got to be on it, you know. And that means like I have to reach out to them. I can't say belly to belly right now, but you know what I mean, just pick up the phone or text or whatever, because the call to action for me, it's almost like if I say, here, I need you to fill this out, or would you fill this out, or are you interested in filling this out? Yeah, I am. And then they don't do it.
Right.
Now, that might be different for mortgage people and non-network marketing companies, but I would want to know what networker uses this successfully.
Okay, so what you're talking about more is follow-up.
Yeah.
Correct? And we're going to have a Widget Wednesday on follow-up systems, because I have a widget for that as well. It's a little bit different, but this is more of an intake form. It kind of gets people in the door, because once they fill out the form, and you notice I ask the question of who they are at the end, because I don't want them to feel like they're going to get spammed. So if they've educated themselves that they might have a pain point or a need, then I ask them, hey, if you want to watch a video, give me your name and email. I'm not even saying a follow-up call. Because if that email goes out, I can get notified that said, if somebody requests the video, notify me, tell me who they are, and then I can follow up and either put them in this follow-up system, which again could be automated.
Got it.
What follow-up systems do is it could be, again, a series. So you create the system once. And one of the questions at the end of the form that I created that I first demoed this morning was, somebody said that if you write something down and delegate it to someone or something, it will save you time. If you don't do that, you're a slave to it forever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why in asking you guys, if there's things that you're doing that you're just kind of spinning your wheels, and if a tool like this can save you time, is it worth the investment of either time and or money to implement it, to get you more customers, to save you time, etc. But a follow-up system, what that does is once we get people into this door, we can move them into a follow-up system, which that will contact them. So again, so that you don't forget, that is something that you don't have to track all the time. So we'll cover follow-up systems in a subsequent call. So the good news is, well, I guess to answer your question, this is not a follow-up system. It is a autoresponder, which is a one step, but there are tools that do multiple steps.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Any other questions or thoughts? So what I would suggest doing is going to jotform.com, just starting a free trial. As I mentioned, when you create a form, there's lots of templates. You really can't break it because it lets you undo stuff. It lets you save stuff. It has widgets. So again, let me just kind of walk you through. So if you create something from scratch, there's a drag and drop system. So you say, what do you want to ask? So you add a form element. Oh, I want to ask their name, and just drag it and drop it. Oh, I want to ask for their email, drag and drop. If you want their address, you can drag and drop that. Over here on the right-hand side, there's properties. So you can click on that, and it'll say, do you want a left, right justification? A lot of times, you might disable the state if you don't need the state. You can make it required or not. So it's pretty intuitive, I feel, and you'll see that the submit button is always at the bottom. What we didn't really look at in the demo, so under settings, under emails, it will automatically send you a notification that the form was filled out, and it will automatically tell you what the fields were. You'll see that the name, email, and address are there. This is what you want to do for the autoresponders. So this is what you can modify. Say, thank you for filling out my form. I will get back to you, or here, click here for a video, or whatever that is. So the autoresponders are something that you would set up. And again, like if they say for Karen and for Kay, you can ask them, are you interested in being a distributor? Yes or no? And depending on if their answer is yes, or their answer is no, you can send them a different autoresponder. It does not have to be the same. So again, with that conditional thing, you can say, let's see, change the email recipient. So if the name is, this is not going to work, but is empty, do this. If the name is complete, then do that. So that's the same thing as you ask them if they want to be a distributor or not. You can change which autoresponder to send them based on their answer. And then once you're all done, you publish it. It gives you a name up here, but what I like to do is I like to click on that. You'll see how it gave whoops, apply. It gives it a name that kind of means something rather than a number. It's easier to track that way, especially if you're linking it to emails or your website. Okay, so again, based on that, let's see. Based on that, that's the demo. I mentioned that I'm going to do an offer for somebody. So I wrote down a number between 1 and 20. The person who gets the closest is going to get my help on developing your first form. Sound good?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go from Jamie. What's your number, Jamie?
7.
Lorianna Taylor?
That was my number.
Oh, well.
So I'll pick 8.
12? What?
8.
8, okay. Karen? Between 1 and 20.
Oh. Oh. Did you ask me? Because
Yeah, what's your number?
14.
14. Kay?
18.
18. Renee?
Number 1.
1. All right. So my number was 9. So that means Lorianna Taylor, you get my help.
Woohoo!
So it's a good thing I get 7 because you might not have won. Okay, so you'll contact me. So once you set up your form, we'll walk through an example. Now for the rest of you, it is pretty intuitive. If you need help on setting some things up, let me know. What I've been offering is normally my billing rate for techie stuff is around $80 an hour. But what I've been offering for these kind of webinars, if you want my time for an hour, 90 minutes, I'm offering that for $29. So again, if you get stuck and you get frustrated, but you think in the long run, this is going to save you time, ask yourself, is it worth my hours trying to figure it out, or if it's worth hiring Susan for $29 to help me get started? So that's the offer. But again, Taylor and Lorianne, you get, I'll help you with your first form. All right.
Well, when you helped us with our A preferred side of business, I mean, it's been phenomenal. Just the forms that you did on Jotform for us for A preferred has been wonderful.
Good. Yeah, that's right. We did do that.
And you are totally worth every penny every time I spend money on you. Because I don't have the time or patience for some of this stuff.
Yeah. You know, and that's why I offer it a lot. I take it for granted. In fact, it did take me a while to get that form working. There are some little idiosyncrasies about some software, most software. But again, once you get it done, it's there. That's why I spent the time this morning doing this, because once I email people, they can take this questionnaire. And it's really going to educate a lot of people in terms of they didn't really even think they had a problem because they were fine. All right. Any other thoughts before we wrap it up? All right. Well, thank you again for showing up. This is always fun. It's really good for me to package this. This actually was kind of a short meeting, which is good. So just to let you know, I will be speaking at Placer Women's Network in 2 Tuesdays. So not this next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. Some of you may have heard the presentation about working the room on the World Wide Web. So that may be a repeat for some of you. That following Wednesday, which is the Widget Wednesday, I'm doing a recap of my social media smackdown. Again, that is going to talk about Promo Republic, which I know some of you already know about. I think the following Widget Wednesday, which will be the second Wednesday in June, I will be doing a follow-up system presentation. So this is something that you had asked or mentioned, Karen. So what do you do when you have lots of people to follow up, and again, you don't have the time or things are falling through the cracks, and what systems are there to do that?
Yeah.
So that'll be the next call after the Widget Wednesday on SmackDown.
Okay, what's the next one? What's the follow-up one in 2 weeks?
Yeah, it'll be in 4 weeks.
4 weeks, that's what I thought. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so unless anybody has any other questions, I'm going to let you get off to your morning. You guys have a good one. And I know that Jamie, you and I have a call tomorrow for the Teachable thing, right?
Right.
And then we have our Instagram training on Friday, which do your homework if you haven't done it already. It's already Wednesday.
Okay, you know what? I have to dial in again from Timbuktu.
Okay.
Because I'm taking the dog to give room to the person's house. And
it's a morning thing, huh?
It's crazy, so I don't know how my reception's going to be and all that, but I'll show up. I don't know.
Okay, good.
So,
yeah,
thank you.
Sounds good. Okay, everyone have a good week.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.